how's it going? Laura with Garden Answer. I'm working on a super fun project tonight. If you have been following us, watching our videos and our garden tours, you might remember this spot. It's kind of an awkward spot, to be honest with you. It's this kind of random brick patio with, there's like cutouts where there were things planted, but there's no water. There was no water to this area. So this elevated brick circle raised bed thing was full of just a mishmash of plants. There were sedum, artemisia, just random stuff that I was hand watering every single day. So we decided to clear most of it out, and I'm going to plant it up with some gorgeous stuff. In fact, I'm going to treat this whole area like a giant container. I'm going to follow the thriller, filler, spiller kind of method of filling this thing up. And we did bring water. So we have a flower bed right over here, right beyond the tool shed. In fact, we've been working on this area. You can see a big pile of rocks right here that someone's going to come pick up tomorrow. They were all right here, and we thought it would be really fun to do eventually a little planting, like a planted area here. But there's some drip tubing running right here that we tapped into, and we brought it right alongside the tool shed over to the corner, and then pulled up the bricks, which we haven't cleaned up yet, and then up into this bed so that I don't have to hand water it. And so that was one of our goals this year, is to just try to get everything as automated as possible so that plants are healthier and that I'm not running like a chicken with my head cut off trying to keep everything nice during the hot part of the summer. So here's what I'm going to be using. Let's run over here and take a look at the plants. And honestly, I don't know how many I'm going to be using of everything, but for my thriller, I'm going to be using Vertigo Pennisetum. Now these grow like 4 to 8 feet tall. So super dramatic, super beautiful foliage. And I think that given enough space, they'll actually get closer to the 8-foot size. And like, imagine that in the center. I think it's gonna be so pretty. For my filler, I'm gonna be using the Mystic Illusion Dahlia, which has the beautiful deep colored foliage, bright flowers, and the contrast of the flowers, the brightness with the darkness of the foliage is just so beautiful. And then mixed in as another filler is this Vermillionaire Kufia, which you guys, I'm using red in the garden. I want you to be proud of me. I think that's a really neat plant, and the reason why I'm using that is because I am kind of using things that pollinators are attracted to, the dahlias, Kufia, and the Supertunias. I wanted to attract butterflies and honeybees, that sort of thing. So those two plants will be my filler around the grasses, and then all the way around the outer circle here, I'm going to plant Supertunia Bordeaux, and that will kind of mound up a little bit and then spill over onto the ground, and I think it's going to be really pretty. So it looks like we have a storm coming our way. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to get done, but I'm going to lay it all out, plant it, probably mulch it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So the storm that came through got a little intense, so I ended up getting all of my planting done, and then I called it a night. So obviously it's the next day. We just got it all mulched, and I think it looks so amazing. I'm so excited to see how this area does. I just really haven't enjoyed this spot over the last couple of years, and I'm just so thankful to have it done for this year. Now I get to watch it fill in and just look gorgeous and full of color. So like I said, all of these plants are full sun loving. Right now it's really quite early in the morning, but it'll get most of the day sun, which these plants will all love. So the Vertigo Pennisetum will start at that plant, since that is our main thriller plant. Those get about 4 to 8 feet tall. So if you're planting them in a smaller container, they probably stay closer to the 4 feet size. But since this is kind of in-ground planting, I'm expecting them to get a little bit bigger than that. Of course, I don't know how far down the soil reservoir goes in here. We did run into some chunks of concrete and things in here, and that's probably why there wasn't much going on in this spot to begin with. So we'll see how those do. And then we've got the Mystic Illusion Dahlias right here, which they attract butterflies. They grow anywhere from about 18 to 36 inches tall and then spread out maybe about 16 inches wide. So I'm really excited to see those kind of fill in, and I just love the color of their blooms contrasted the color to the color of their foliage. I just think they're such a striking plant, and obviously, I mean, they're an eye-catching plant. And then we have the Vermillionaire Kufia right here, or the large firecracker plant is what they're called, and they grow about 18 inches to 30 inches tall or so, and about 2 feet wide. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these kind of intermix with the dahlias and kind of be my filler plants. These are probably the best hummingbird attracting plant that I've ever grown, and that's the reason why I'm putting red in my garden. I don't typically do that, you guys know, but I put one of these in a pot last year. It was a pot I did for 4th of July, so I needed the red in there, and I just was so blown away by how many hummingbirds came around that one plant, and it was really close to one of our doors too. I was surprised how it just attracted them in, and it was, anyway. So I'm just excited for that because I want to see as many hummingbirds as possible out here. And then our spiller plant is the Supertunia Bordeaux, which of course is the annual of the year and one of my favorites because, I mean, look at the color. Like, how can that not be a favorite? They're so pretty. So these will kind of mound up and then they'll start spilling over onto the ground, which they can spill to their heart's content because this area is quite large around it. We don't really do anything out here on this patio, so I'm just excited to let it do its thing. Now, you definitely don't have to do something on this scale. I just wanted to give you an idea for this kind of combination. You could do one grass, one dahlia, one vermilion or cufia, and even one Supertunia Bordeaux, so just 4 plants in a container. You'll get the same kind of look in terms of color and attracting the pollinators. So it's just kind of something you can scale to whatever size you have or whatever budget you're working with. So that's pretty much it, you guys. As always, we will be updating you on this area as the season progresses. We'll be doing garden tours and probably specific updates just on this spot. I'm just excited to see how all of these plants do together. I'm excited to see how big that Vertigo Pennisetum is going to get. It was one of my favorite grasses that I grew last year, and so I'm adding a lot more into my landscape this year. So anyway, make sure you're subscribed so that you get to see those updates, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.